Today, we're getting into something that seems really simple on the surface. Daily journaling. Our deep dive is all about exploring how this one small habit, backed by, well, a lot of personal stories and some really practical wisdom from our sources, can be, genuinely transformative, not just for personal growth, but even for learning English, which is fascinating.
It really is. Because we're not just looking at it as like writing stuff down. It's more about seeing it as this surprisingly powerful tool
For clarity.
and self-discovery.
Right.
Basically taking your own thoughts, your experiences, and making them, I guess, useful and actionable.
Yeah, tangible. And as we unpack all this, you can expect some real aha moments, maybe a few surprising facts, and definitely some practical tips you can, just right away.
Good.
So, lots of us think that big changes require these huge efforts. Waking up at 4 a.m., reading tons of books, marathon training.
Yeah, the grand gestures.
Exactly. But what keeps coming up in the sources is that the biggest improvements, they often come from these small, simple habits. And daily journaling seems to be right up there. Huge returns for, well, pretty minimal effort, it sounds like.
That's spot on. And when we say journaling here, we're really just talking about a short, personal bit of writing each day. It's incredibly accessible. You don't need money, no special tools.
Just what? Time.
Yeah, basically just a bit of time, your thoughts, and as one source put it, a little honesty with yourself.
I love that.
Yeah.
And that simplicity, that's its real superpower, isn't it? There's this lovely description from one person. Every morning before the world gets noisy, I sip at my small wooden table with a cup of tea and my notebook.
And the kicker, it only takes about 10 minutes.
Just 10 minutes. And what are they actually doing in that time?
Well, the core practice seems to be writing down just 3 things. What I'm grateful for, what I want to focus on today, and one small lesson I've learned recently. Super simple. And the immediate effect they described. It helps me think clearly, feel calm, and stay focused.
Okay, that's quite a claim for, 10 minutes of writing.
Oh.
So how does that work? How does something so straightforward lead to, clarity and calm?
Well, it really boils down to getting thoughts out of your head, externalizing them. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, drowning in tasks.
Yeah, happens to us all.
Right. And you write down something specific like, today, I will only focus on what I can control. That immediately creates a bit of mental distance. The thoughts are sort of out there on the page. Instead of swirling inside, you can observe them.
Instead of being swept away by them.
Exactly. And that simple act, that detachment, it brings a sense of peace. It helps you stop stressing about things you couldn't change.
And it sounds like a fantastic tool for self-awareness, too. Like holding up a mirror. I like that bit about Mr. Carter's advice. You can't pour from an empty cup. Someone wrote that down. And just seeing it there, written down, acted as this constant reminder. Prioritize yourself, like a little paper coach.
It is, like a wise friend on paper, yeah. And that power extends really deeply into emotional processing, too. Writing helps you take these abstract feelings, sadness, anger, frustration, and put them into actual words.
Makes them less
scary, less amorphous, maybe, clearer, as the sources say. Once you articulate an emotion, it's not just this heavy cloud inside you anymore. It's something you can look at, understand a bit better.
Right.
We heard about Michael, the teacher, who used it to leave work at work, and the result, he started to sleep better.
That's huge.
It is. And Anna, feeling lonely in a new city, she said writing felt like talking to a friend who listens. It validated her feelings, made them less isolating.
It even seems to help with just practical stuff like problem solving.
Oh, for sure.
The example of someone struggling with time management. They wrote, I waste too much time on my phone. I will try to limit my phone use to 1 hour per day. Just writing it down turned this vague guilt into an actual plan.
Exactly. It structures your engagement with the problem, and they felt more focused and less stressed because of it. It's amazing how writing it down can unlock the next step.
Yeah.
And beyond just problems, it's really powerful for cultivating gratitude. Positivity. It's about deliberately remembering small happy moments, things we often forget.
Like the surprise tea someone got.
Yeah, or Peter in Canada noticing a little bird sitting on my window. It's not just remembering, it's actively appreciating. You're sort of training your brain to look for the good stuff, to collect good memories, and that naturally leads to feeling more thankful and less stressed.
That focus on small details, it sounds a lot like mindfulness practice.
It really is. When you write about your senses, what you see, hear, feel right now, you're anchoring yourself in the present.
Getting out of the headspin about the past or future.
Precisely.
Right.
Which directly reduces stress. And, it also builds discipline almost sneakily. Like James, who tracked his eating and exercise habits in his journal and saw real health improvements. It keeps you accountable to yourself.
Okay, this is all making so much sense for well-being. But you mentioned English learning earlier, and that's where, for a lot of our listeners, this might get really interesting. How does journaling help accelerate English skills?
Ah, yes. This is a really practical application. The impact on writing skills is, well, pretty immediate and obvious. Even if you're writing a really simple journal entry, maybe just today I felt tired or I'm proud of myself, you're actively practicing.
You're using the language.
Exactly. Take Daniel. He started super basic. Today was good. I cooked lunch, that kind of thing. But doing it daily, now he's writing longer sentences using stronger vocabulary. It's like building muscle memory for English sentence structure.
And it clarifies your thoughts in English too, right?
Yeah.
Rachel said, writing in English every day helps me think in English.
Ah.
Which then makes speaking easier because the words are already sort of primed.
That's a great way to put it. Primed. It smooths that transition from thought to speech, and it's fantastic for vocabulary. Encounter a new word, like consistent or patient.
Write it down.
Yep. Write it down, its meaning, maybe use it in a sentence right there in your journal. That active recall really helps cement it in your memory. You can even grab words from conversations you had. Remember Mr. Smith's gardening tips?
Yeah. Planting, soil, roots.
Perfect journal fodder. You use it, you remember it better.
And this writing practice, it feeds directly into speaking skills.
Absolutely. James found that writing helps me find the right words before I speak. It's like a rehearsal space.
Okay.
And Rebecca, the nurse, she'd write out 3 short conversations every night, practicing responses, phrasing. It helped her get to the point where she could speak more fluently without so much hesitation.
That's smart. And Daniel from Ghana, his approach was interesting too.
Oh yeah, the mirror practice.
Practicing in front of a mirror, focusing on nonverbals, smiling, standing straight, speaking with energy.
His thinking was, if I look confident, I feel confident. Combining the written prep with that visual physical practice. That's powerful stuff.
You could even just read your journal entries out loud, couldn't you?
Definitely. That's what Emily did every morning.
Right. And she said it made her feel more confident when she talks to people during the day. Low stakes practice.
And it even loops back to listening skills, believe it or not.
How so?
Stephen, the delivery worker, had this cool method. He'd listen to short stories, pause after each sentence, repeat the sentence aloud, and then try to retell the story himself. He said it trained his ears and mouth at the same time.
Wow, that's active listening.
Very active. And it helped him internalize the natural rhythms of English so he could speak more naturally.
The crucial thing, though, and we need to stress this, perfection is not the goal here.
Not at all.
You don't need perfect sentences. You don't need fancy vocabulary. Just write what you can.
Please remember that. Your journal is not for an English teacher. It's not for anyone else. It's only for you. No judgment.
Right. So if people listening are feeling inspired, thinking, okay, I want to try this, let's give them some practical steps. How do you actually start?
Okay, getting started is super simple. First, just find a notebook or use your phone. Honestly, the tool doesn't really matter. The habit is what matters.
Good point.
Then consistency. Try to write every day. Even, and this is key, even if it is only one sentence.
Just one sentence counts.
Absolutely. The goal isn't length or perfection. Mistakes are okay. They're part of learning. Just show up.
And finding a time. Morning, night.
It depends on you. Some like the morning because my mind feels clear. Others prefer at night to reflect on their day. Find what works. Natasha, remember, she put her notebook on my pillow every morning. A simple visual cue.
I like that. But what if you sit down, pen in hand or phone ready, and just stare at the blank page? Blank screen panic.
Ah, the blank page fear. Totally normal. That's where prompts come in handy.
Good idea. Like training wheels.
Exactly. The sources suggested 3 easy questions as a great starting point. 1, how do I feel today? 2, what did I do today? And 3, what do I want to do better tomorrow?
Nice and simple.
Super simple. So you might write, I feel calm and happy. I clean the living room. I want to speak more slowly when I feel nervous. Boom. Done. Reflection and intention setting right there.
And make it enjoyable. It doesn't have to be just lines of text.
Please make it fun. Draw pictures, use colors, write quotes that inspire you, whatever makes it your space.
Like writing small steps lead to big changes. A little self-motivation.
Precisely. Now, some people did find sharing helpful with a partner or friend for motivation, but, and this is important, Your journal is your personal space. You absolutely do not have to share if you do not want to. Keep it private if that feels right.
And finally, maybe the most important thing for any new habit, be kind to yourself.
Oh, definitely.
If you miss a day
Yeah?
or two, it's going to happen. Life gets busy. It's normal.
Don't beat yourself up.
No, just try to start again the next day. Patience and self-compassion are key.
And hey, if you like tech, there are apps and websites too. Some offer prompts, some even check grammar if you want that feedback. Lots of options.
Okay, so wrapping this up, it feels like daily journaling is this incredibly versatile, low-effort, high-impact habit. We've seen how it helps with stress, clarity, self-awareness, reaching goals, and crucially for many listening, how it acts as this amazing accelerator for English skills. Writing, speaking, listening, vocab, grammar, the whole package.
It really does tie back to that core message from the sources. The biggest improvements come from small, simple habits that you do again and again. It's not about massive leaps. Journaling gives you that safe place to express yourself without fear of judgment. It's a space just for your own growth.
You know, it's more than just writing words, isn't it? It really feels like it's about understanding yourself better, creating this ongoing conversation with yourself, building that relationship, maybe the most important one we have.
Bill said.
So maybe the final thought for everyone listening is this. What new discovery about yourself or about your learning journey could you make just by picking up a pen or opening a notes app today? What might you find?